The church wasn't Michelangelo's only architectural project. He also designed the building for Pope Paul I's family. He drew plans for a town square and a gate in one of Rome's walls. But even after all this, Michelangelo didn't really consider himself an architect. On one of his drawings for St. Peter's, he wrote, "It is not my profession." Chapter 9. A True Master. Around 1547, Michelangelo began to carve a new sculpture. It showed the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ, along with Nicodemus, another figure from the Bible. He worked on it for 8 years until 1555. Then, one day, Michelangelo took a mallet and attacked the sculpture. Parts of it broke off. His assistants asked him why he had done it. Michelangelo said that he did it out of grief at the death of Urbino, a beloved assistant. There was another reason, though. He had found a flaw in the marble. He didn't think it was worth finishing. Michelangelo had wanted to destroy the statues completely, but a banker friend offered to buy it. Michelangelo's assistant repaired it and completed it as best he could. The statue became known as the Florentine Pieter. Many believe that the figure was is a self-portrait by Michelangelo. Urbino wasn't the only person Michelangelo had lost. Many of his friends had died. So had his fathers and brothers. His closest living relatives were his favorite brother Bernardato's children, Leonardo and Francesca. Other popes came and went. Religious leaders became stricter. In January 1564, a religious council agreed that the Last Judgment showed too many naked bodies. They hired other artists to paint clothes on some of the figures. Michelangelo was very old, but he could never let himself stop working. He had begun to carve another Pietà in the early 1550s. He was still working on it in February 1564 when he fell ill. He died on February 18, a few weeks before his 89th birthday. Many artists and friends came to his funeral in Rome. He was buried in the Sancti Apostoli Church there. Pope Pius IV talked about the building a much fancier tomb for Michelangelo, but that would never happen. Duke Cosimo de' Medici ruled Florence at that time. He was furious that Michelangelo had been buried in Rome. Michelangelo was one of history's greatest artists, and he was from Florence. The Duke thought the great artist's body belonged in his hometown. Michelangelo's nephew went to Rome. He secretly had the artist's body taken from Sancti Apostoli. Then he smuggled it out of the city in a bale of hay. On March 11, the people of Florence packed the streets of Michelangelo's coffin was carried to the church of Santa Franco. There, his body was finally laid to rest, not far from the house where he had grown up. Today, Michelangelo lives on through his statues, his paintings, and his poetry. He's a giant of the Renaissance who sets a new standard for painting and sculpture. Each year, thousands of people travel to Italy to see his masterpieces. They marvel at the Pietà in Rome and the giant statue David in Florence. Visitors to the Sistine Chapel gaze up at the magnificent ceilings. The image he created of God bringing Adam to life with the touch of his finger is one of the most well-known images in the world, and it was created by a man who said he was not a painter. Michelangelo always called himself a sculptor. He felt it was his calling to restore life from cold, hard blocks of marble. He was never quite able to do that, but he came as close as he could. Michelangelo's statues and frescoes might not be alive, but he lives on through them. Cleaning the Sistine Chapel. By the 1970s, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel frescoes were over 400 years old, and they were covered in dirt. People had been burning candles in the chapel for centuries. That left a coating of dark soot and wax on the magnificent ceiling frescoes, and the plaster was cracking in some areas. Art experts began to make a plan for cleaning the frescoes. They knew it had to be done carefully. They wanted to remove the dirt but not change Michelangelo's work in any way. The cleaning process began in 1980. It wasn't finished until 1994. Visitors were astonished by the change. Colors that had once seemed pale and soft were now deep and rich. The whole ceiling looked much brighter. Some critics said that the ceiling went too far, but most agree that the original beauty of the paintings has been restored. Timeline of Michelangelo's life. 1475. Born on March 6 in the town of Capris near the city of State of Florence. 1488. John's worship of Domenico Ghirlandaio. 1490. Moves to the house of Lorenzo di Medici to study sculpture. 1497 to 1500. Was on the theatre for French Cardinal Jean de Beharis de Laguerre. 1501 to 1504. Cast David statue in Florence. 1505. Travels to Rome to build tomb for Pope Julius II. 1506. Asked by Pope Julius II to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. 1513 to 1516. Paints fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. 1508 to 1512. Works on statues for Pope Julius II's tomb, including Moses. 1516. Hired to build facade for San Lorenzo, the Medici Chapel. 1519. Asked to build new sacristy for the Medici Chapel and a medicine library.